Happy New Year, everybody. This is the first Friday, so I wanted to have a short presentation. It is New Year's, but let's just celebrate for a little time together. I just want to share some things with you and add in a little bit related to TKM and also to congratulate you. If you're here, at least you survived 2020. I think we're all glad that that is done. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to move through this PowerPoint with some tips for living and health tips. And I'll get some TKM correlations to some of these and we'll move through. So let's get started. Opportunity for great health naturally. It is an opportunity for many things. The energy of true healing begins with your thoughts. I've thought about this for years. First, we're separate things. We are spirit living in flesh. So that's spirit, that's flesh, that's physical. We have a mind that's separate from the others, and we have emotions. What we're talking about, the energy of true healing begins with your thoughts. You have a thought and it begets an emotional response, a hormonal response, which also has a direct correlation to how your physical body responds. And of course, yes, that has a spiritual correlation of how that responds. So true healing begins with putting a guard on your thoughts, not just a guard on your tongue. And this would be a great time. This is the first day of a whole new year. What consumes your mind will control your life. These are things that should really be contemplated on. These are some nuggets that I put together and drew some pictures together. I hope you enjoy it. A good thing would be wake up with determination and go to bed with satisfaction. Wake up each morning thankful, grateful, and excited for what the day will be and determined to make it productive in one way or another, whatever productive means to you or that it needs to be that day. And go to bed that night with satisfaction so you may have peace. Something else that's simply put, rare today, silence your mind. This is something I believe people these days need to schedule. If you don't schedule it, it won't happen. And you don't silence your mind by being on your phone or watching a movie or TV or news. You silence your mind by getting away, getting in solitude, taking a moment away and rest your thoughts. Now, the first stage of what you probably need to go through, which is very important, is contemplation, because there'll be things on your mind. So go through those, but not in a way to dwell on them, and a way to process them, stick them over here and here and here, so that you can get to a place where you can silence your mind. It is excellent for your mind, body, your health in every way, your immune system, and your spirit. Now, this is something that I wanted to inject in here, and I'm going to send this out on email to everyone. Important notice. The mRNA vaccine advisory and informed consent. So please follow me through this. My dear friends, informed consent to medical treatment is fundamental in both ethics and law. Patients have the right to receive information and ask questions regarding potential risk and benefit, so well-considered decisions regarding care can be freely made. In the face of aggressive, orchestrated government and media push to vaccinate an entire nation, our fundamental right to medical informed consent has been unethically and unlawfully suspended. As I heard this morning, they're looking at ways to make it mandatory first in New York. Therefore, in lieu of their glaring omission of informed consent, this office would like to share the following. After receiving the unprecedented and rushed mRNA vaccine, the mRNA, get the RNA part there? And this is a DNA effect. So the rushed mRNA vaccine, you may no longer be able to treat the symptoms of the vaccine in a complementary way. It's important to understand for your decisions. You will have to live with the consequences because you will no longer be able to be cured simply by removing toxins from the body. It goes way beyond that. Similarly, like a person with a genetic defect like Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, and others, the genetic modification is deemed permanent. This clearly means if a symptom develops after an mRNA vaccination, the damage caused by this vaccination can be genetically irreversible. Therefore, an mRNA or RNA vaccine embarks upon an unproven and unknown path of human genetic experimentation. Some say this is purposed, but regardless, it is unknown on such a large scale, plus the initial use has already shown more risk than the virus itself for permanent damage. Additionally, COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers are exempt from any and all liability. That's a huge red flag. So I've always talked about choices and consequences, especially concerning health, thoughts, emotions, life. So same thing here. As I've taught for decades, in all life decisions, there are consequences to all our choices. I'm suggesting to count the true possible cost if you do vaccinate for you and your loved ones versus if you don't. That's all I'm saying. As always, please research for yourself. Now what we're going to do is provide some wisdoms for life. Cut off fake people for real reasons, not real people for fake reasons. Never mix bad words with your bad mood. I love this expression. That's quite a twist. You'll have many opportunities to change your mood, but you'll never get the opportunity to replace the words you spoke. Be happy for no reason, like a child. If you are happy for a reason, like a circumstance, you risk losing it because circumstances change. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Sometimes they're only there long enough to teach you the lessons you needed to learn or lessons they needed to learn. Often it works both ways. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition. Boy, I'd like to ad lib on that. Violent opposition from mediocre minds. So Einstein was not a mediocre mind. Never give up on what you want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. I love that. It's like I say, you can have all the facts, but you know what? Truth overrides facts. That's another one from Einstein. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. This is talking about what you're doing with your mind. If you're anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. Your state of mind determines your state of health. Very important. Success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Winston Churchill. There are only two ways to live life. I like this. I like simplification. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Einstein. Most all of the greatest minds throughout time has had these same thoughts, their same philosophy, their same way of living life. Happiness is an inside job. Don't assign anyone else to that much power over your life. There is a huge amount of freedom that comes when you take nothing personally. It is a choice to take something personally. Even if other people intend it, it doesn't matter. It's how you take it. Hatred is never ended by hatred, but by love. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Amen. Your I can is more important than your IQ. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. Many people have said some variation of that. So what is the source? That's the Bible. Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The mind is like a parachute. It works best when it is open. Boy, could I talk a lot about each one of these. But I hope you're enjoying this, having fun, and I hope it is of benefit to you. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only affects you. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one that gets burned. It never works. Forget all the reasons why it won't work and believe the one reason why it will. Just be yourself. There is no one better. The most common belief, here's an explanation, the most common belief that we all have, and the stupid phobia that holds us back, is the mentality that others are better and smarter than we are. The law of belief states that, and I just explained that earlier. Whatever we believe in with feelings or conviction becomes our reality. We create it. A selfish person never knew the meaning of trust and belief. So let's show them, let's teach them. In the practice of tolerance, one's enemy is the best teacher. Ego is the only requirement to destroy any relationship. So be a bigger person, skip the E and let go. What would be a good sequence for here? 9 sequence. Does everybody need it? Yes, everybody needs a 9 sequence. A lot of these also involve a 13 sequence that would be beneficial and a mediator sequence. So letting go is always 9s, but we need mediator to help correct attitudes. We need 13s to help correct emotional aspects of attitudes. Aside from helping your immune system and balancing hormones and all that stuff, it helps emotions. So happy new year. It is 2021. There is no more 2020. I am happy to see it go. I am grateful, I am blessed, and I am grateful to the Lord, not for 2020, but because he's still on the throne and he always will be. So my advice would be, what do we do for this year? Establish and keep a healthy spiritual life, physical life, mental life, emotional life. So you're covering these aspects, not leaving anything out. And what's the other one? And may your energy system be forever in homeostasis. I'll see you soon. So have a wonderful New Year's, and we'll see you soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.